Hey, good evening, folks, and welcome to our Wednesday night weekly update. I was just thinking with that title sequence playing there that it's almost time for me to redo that video. We no longer have that slate roof on the church. We have the copper up now, so I just haven't had a chance to get the drone up to refilm that sequence. I hope all of you are having a fantastic week. It was just a beautiful day out there today, much milder than we've been having recently, ahead of the cold that is coming in for this weekend. So I hope all of you had a chance to get outside and enjoy that. Very good evening and warm welcome, Len, to you this evening. Hope your day has gone well for you. Kathy, good to have you and Rich here with us tonight as well. I see Len is wishing you a belated happy birthday, so a belated happy birthday also from me and from all of us watching here tonight too. Peggy and Don, Peggy, it's good to see you here tonight. Hope you and Don are doing well at the moment. Meg, as always, it's a pleasure to have you. I hope you've been having a great week so far and hope the next couple of days to get you to the weekend go smoothly for you too. Let's see, that's all we have logged on right now. If anybody else shows up and comments there, we will indeed hopefully have a chance to say hello to you. A couple of announcements for you. Actually, one question for you. I'm looking at my live feed here. Does my video look normal to you or does it look really tiny? Got to ask that question. So if somebody wouldn't mind posting a comment if it looks like you're just getting part of the video. For some reason, what I'm seeing on YouTube right now is not what I'm seeing on my broadcast software. So I don't know if there's something weird going on there or not. But anyway, a couple of announcements for you. Don't forget to mark your calendars for Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday is coming up on the 17th of February. The important thing about this year's Ash Wednesday is if you would like to receive ashes, you need to let the church know. So there is a link in the newsletter. Click on that, fill out the form, and Len and Sheila will get ashes mailed to you ahead of time. Hey, I'm glad everything looks fine to you, Meg. Len, you say everything looks normal. I'm not sure what normal means when it's me that you're looking at, but I'll take that for what it's worth. So, excellent. Video submissions for the online talent show. Don't forget about our online talent show that's coming up. If you haven't submitted yet, which is everybody in our congregation with the exception of one person. To date, the only person to submit something for the talent show is our children's director, Shara Marquez. So you have through next Monday, February 8th, to get your submission in. It doesn't matter if you're a talented singer or if it's just something ridiculous. It's all just about bringing the congregation together and having a little bit of fun. There's a link, I believe, too, in the newsletter for that. So go ahead, click on that for more information on doing that. So let's see. Prayer requests. There's a lot of prayer requests here tonight. You can see on the sheet here. I'm not going to highlight all of them for you tonight, but just a couple that came in recently. Annie Brostrom's dad, Bob, is in the hospital with broken ribs from a fall, so we want to keep Bob in prayer. The pain of broken ribs and the difficulty that causes breathing is no fun at all. Also, Rita Orlando's niece, Catherine, is in the hospital with major heart and lung issues, and they are related to COVID. So we want to definitely keep her in prayer. Also, Kate Hunt is also being treated for COVID right now, too. So we want to keep Kate in our prayer, too. Thankfully, Sue Hunt is on the recovery side of having COVID, but is still feeling the effects of battling that for a couple of weeks here. Dave Hunt, who had COVID, he actually went really largely asymptomatic, so we're thankful for that and that he is doing well as well. One of our members, Josephine Achua-Day, she's in Cameroon right now. We mentioned that on Sunday for Achu's funeral. And we want to maintain prayers for her safety and also her energy levels. This is the week of funeral services. And as I was sharing with our staff today, they actually have 3 different services coming up in 3 different towns and a whole bunch of visitations, plus a service of Thanksgiving this coming Sunday in his hometown of Bamemba. So, want to keep Achu or Josephine and the family in prayer as they celebrate Achu's life. And again, Andrea Esterly's mom is undergoing radiation treatment for cancer. And then also Mary Flater, we've been praying for her. She fractured her L1 vertebrae and is in the process of trying to heal from that. And I talked to her yesterday, and she said, it's just miserable. The pain of, having a broken vertebrae, it makes it really difficult to get comfortable in any way, shape, or form. So, let's keep Mary in our prayers as well. Those are just a few of the things that we have going on at the church right now. So let's just step over here for a little thought for the week, shall we? This week's thought is taken from Psalm 46, verse 10. And it's a simple verse. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God.
From the final words of George Floyd to the impact of COVID-19, the need to breathe has become a central focus in our culture. I want to ask you if your life has the space it needs to breathe deeply. There's a moment in the movie Shawshank Redemption where Brooks Hatlin is released from the prison. He was sent to the prison in 1905, and it's now 1954. Shortly after being released, he is almost run over by a car and recalls how he had seen a car before being locked up, but now these cars are everywhere. He writes back to the guys who are still in Shawshank, and he says,
"The world went and got itself in a big damn hurry."
Or as the Roman playwright Plautus would write sometime around 200 BCE, "The gods confound the man who first found out how to distinguish the hours. Confound him too who in this place set up a sundial to cut and hack my days so wretchedly into small portions." I can only imagine what Plautus would think of the world we live in today. We live in a culture that prides itself on being busy. We wear it as a badge of honor. We have to be seen to be in constant motion, always having something going on, right? And it's certainly good to work hard. It's good to be responsible, but constant activity should not be the measure of our life. It is far more important for us to structure our days in such a way that we have space to breathe. Imagine trying to read a book with no margins or spaces. Perhaps you've picked up a cheap copy of a book and opened it to see tiny margins and small print and had that sense of being overwhelmed at the thought of reading it because there's simply too many words on the page. And so you set it down and never read it. You see, the gaps and the empty spaces provide room for the page to breathe. The poet Emily Dickinson was known for adding lots of dashes and hyphens to her poetry. Her editors encouraged her to remove them as they felt they had contributed nothing to the poem. How wrong they were. The dashes, the hyphens, the spaces, the margins, all the gaps create space for the poem to breathe, to come alive. Poetry is more than words. It's also the way space is created between the words. In the visual arts, we refer to the empty space within an image as negative space. It's designed to draw our focus and attention towards the main subject and provides a space for the subject to become clear as all the clutter is removed and the image can breathe. Even music, which we think of as being about sound, builds space for us. Space for us to breathe, because alongside the notes that instruct the musician to produce sound, you will also find the marks that indicate a rest, a pause, a silence, a breath, a moment to breathe. We all need space to breathe, right? We need to slow down. Now, maybe that you're thinking you've had plenty of space in your life during the COVID pandemic. Indeed, in some ways, we all feel like we've had too much time by ourselves. Even an introvert like me is craving social engagement right now. Yet so much of the space we have in our lives due to COVID is both hectic and stressful. It's not really space for us to breathe. Psalm 46 begins with the words, "God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble." Folks, that's great, it's encouraging, and it's a nice platitude, but it's also incomplete. What follows is the comment that, therefore, we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam and the mountains quake with their surging. Now that's getting closer, but it's still not yet complete until we get down to verse 10. And there we read, "Be still and know that I am God." When everything is falling apart, we're encouraged to find space to breathe, to still ourselves, and to know that God is present. Our lives need space to breathe, space to be still. We need to create negative space in our lives so we can see more clearly. We need to see the pause and the score so we can take in the breath of life before we move on to the next measure. We need to be more aware of the punctuation and the spaces of our life story to allow ourselves room to breathe and reflect on the spaces between the words, to find space where we can see the divine at work. The world went and got itself in a big damn hurry. Be still and know that I am God. Just breathe.
Folks, I hope you got something out of that and that you find time in your week to be still in a proper way. Not just to have nothing to do, but to be able to pause and reflect on God's presence in your life. You know, we've been doing these thoughts of the week now for, almost 11 months at this point since we started these Wednesday night times together. And, you know, I would love to hear from you what you might like for me to talk about on a Wednesday night. If there's some subject or thought that you would like to hear my thoughts on, send me a text, send me an email, or throw something in the comments right now, or throw it in the comments next week if you think of it. But, you know, I would love to, you know, give you guys what you want on a Wednesday night as well. Folks, until we get back together in worship on Sunday morning this week, and we're able to be together via this wonderful gift of technology and the internet, you guys take care, be safe, and God bless you.